Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more real-life stories and personal dramas. We've made a decision about the house. My father tapped his wine glass with a fork. The sharp clink cut through the low hum of conversation. Everyone paused. Forks hovered midair. Eyes turned toward him, expecting a toast. He wasn't giving one. "When we're gone," he said, reaching for my mother's hand, "the house goes to Nicole. She's earned it." My sister's smile stretched across the table, carefully practiced, flawless. My mother's hand tightened around hers, as if some engagement had just been announced. Nicole's husband raised his glass, finally getting some acknowledgement. I sat frozen. The mashed potatoes on my fork had gone cold. The room suddenly felt smaller, the walls pressing in. My mother looked at me with an expression she probably believed was gentle. "You understand, don't you?" she said. "Nicole's been here. She's been involved." My father nodded in agreement. "You moved away. You've built your life. You don't need this place." Nicole glanced at me, tilting her head slightly. "Don't make this weird, Meg. It's just a house. Just a house." My hand drifted to my purse, brushing against the folded paper tucked inside. The mortgage statement I had brought, hoping for a very different conversation. Slowly, I rose, the chair scraping against the floor. "Actually," I said, "we need to talk about that house." The paper felt like a live grenade in my pocket. "My name is Megan. I'm 36. I work as a real estate investment analyst in Chicago, though my family has never really grasped what that means. To them, I'm just the daughter who left. I grew up in that house. I learned to ride a bike in the driveway, carved my initials into the oak tree out back at 9, left Ohio at 22 for grad school, and never returned. My parents interpreted that distance as abandonment. Nicole, on the other hand, stayed nearby, 5 minutes away. She came over every Sunday for dinner. Present, visible, close. I called. I sent money. I flew back for every emergency, every surgery, every crisis. But none of it counted. It was never the right kind of love. They saw my absence as betrayal, never noticing the checks I sent every month. 3 years ago, my parents nearly lost the house. Foreclosure. They never told me directly. I found out because I track real estate professionally. One day, their address popped up in a pre-foreclosure alert. My stomach dropped. I bought the mortgage at auction, paid off the bank, and transferred everything into my name. They never knew. I've been the invisible landlord ever since, covering property taxes, insurance, and even subsidizing their retirement from 800 miles away. I came to Thanksgiving this year, hoping this would be the year I finally felt included. The year they might ask about my life, my work, my world. Tonight, I realized that would never happen. And now, they were trying to give away something that was already mine. The tension started the moment I arrived. I flew in Wednesday night and offered to help with cooking. My mother waved me off. Nicole's handling everything. She knows how I like things done. Walking through the house, I noticed all the changes. My old bedroom had been turned into a playroom for Nicole's kids. Childhood photos were gone from the hallway, replaced by portraits of Nicole's family, wedding pictures, birthday celebrations, a shrine to the daughter who stayed. At dinner, I was placed at the corner of the table, near the kitchen pass-through. Nicole and her husband flanked my parents, steering the conversation like hosts. Little comments floated across the table throughout the meal. "You probably don't remember how Mom makes the stuffing. It's a family recipe, but you weren't here to learn it. We tried that new restaurant downtown last month." Every word, every glance reminded me of how invisible I had become, how present she had always been, and how this house, the one I saved, maintained, and protected, was now being handed over to her as if it were never mine. My father was asking Nicole's husband about his work, his golf game, his new truck. No one asked me about my job, my flight, or how my life was going. At one point, my mother mentioned the new roof. "Nicole found such a great contractor for us," she said. "Really saved us a lot. I had wired $23,000 for that roof 6 months earlier." Nicole accepted the praise without so much as a flicker of acknowledgement, credit she didn't deserve. I stayed silent, watching the family I'd been supporting act as though I didn't exist. Then the topic shifted to estate planning. My father set down his fork and looked around the table. We've been thinking about the future, about making things official. My mother nodded, her gaze lingering on Nicole. We've updated our will, my father continued, and we've decided the house goes to Nicole. It's only fair. My mother reached across the table and squeezed Nicole's hand. She's been here through everything. Nicole's husband lifted his wine glass. It's about time you made it official, he said. My father turned to me. You've got your career, your apartment in the city. You don't need this place. The house I owned, the house I'd saved from auction, the house I paid quarterly taxes on was being given away. My mother added, you moved away, Megan. You made your choice. Nicole smiled at me, calm and practiced. Don't take it personally. I've just been more present. Something inside me shifted, not anger, but clarity. They weren't just ignoring me. They were erasing me. And they were trying to give away something that had been mine for 3 years. I tried to speak. I think there's something you should know. Nicole cut me off immediately. Please don't make this about you. This is their decision. My mother nodded. We've thought this through carefully, Megan. My father leaned back. You haven't been part of this family in years. Not really. The words landed harder than I expected. I'd sent birthday gifts, holiday money, emergency funds. I paid for my father's hip surgery last year. $12,000 wired straight to the hospital. They thanked Nicole for arranging everything. The erasure wasn't accidental. It was intentional. Nicole leaned forward, her voice softening into that practiced tone of false sympathy. Honestly, you don't even know what's been happening here. Dad's blood pressure, Mom's knee replacement. I've handled all of it. My mother confirmed it. Nicole's been our rock. I'd handled the insurance paperwork from Chicago. Spent hours on the phone with claims adjusters. Negotiated medical bills down by $12,000. Set up automatic payments from my own account, quietly, so they would think I did nothing. Nicole shook her head. You send a check and think that's love, but it's not. Love is showing up. The table nodded. My parents agreed. Her husband smirked. I gripped the edge of the table, so hard my knuckles went white. My father cleared his throat. We also need to discuss the money situation. My stomach twisted. We've been struggling, he said, and Nicole has offered to help manage our finances going forward. Nicole sat up, pleased. I'm going to take over the household accounts. Make sure everything's stable once you're both gone. My mother looked at her with relief. We're so grateful, honey. I couldn't breathe. I'd been managing their finances for 3 years, the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the medical bills. Every payment automated, every crisis quietly handled. And now Nicole was going to take credit for it all. Maybe she'd even twist the truth and make me the villain, the controlling sister who bought their house without asking. I couldn't stay silent anymore. I excused myself to the bathroom, locked the door, and leaned against the sink. The cold porcelain pressed into my palms. I opened my phone and pulled up my banking app. 3 years of mortgage payments, property tax receipts, in my name. The deed listing me as the buyer from the bank's foreclosure auction. My parents didn't own this house. I did. They'd been living here because I allowed it. I'd never told them, not for gratitude, not for acknowledgement, not for awkwardness. I thought I was being careful, thought I was safe. But now they were handing away something that had never belonged to them, giving it to the daughter who had only shown up for dinner. I reached into my purse and pulled out the mortgage statement. I'd brought it hoping for a conversation about the future, about honesty, about finally being seen. Instead, I was met with an eviction notice from my own family. I stared at my reflection, tired eyes, jaw tight. I could leave and let them discover the truth later, when Nicole tried to claim a house that wasn't hers, or I could end the pretense tonight. Folding the paper, I slid it into my back pocket. Time to stop being invisible. My phone buzzed. A text from Angela, my closest friend and a real estate attorney who had handled the original purchase 3 years ago and kept copies of all the paperwork. How's Thanksgiving? Are they finally appreciating you? I typed back, they're giving the house to Nicole. The 3 dots appeared almost immediately. The house? The one you own? They don't know. Then tell them you have all the documents. I have copies too. I paused. Another message came through. You've been protecting people who don't even see you. I thought of all the years of quiet sacrifice, the checks sent, the help given, the labor unseen. Angela sent one final message. You're not the villain for speaking the truth. You are if you let them rewrite it. She was right. My silence hadn't protected anyone. It had erased me. I typed back, I'm going back in. Angela, give them hell, then come home. Pocketing my phone, I walked back to the dining room. I didn't sit this time. I stood at the edge of the table. Eyes flicked to me, irritation, confusion. Before you finalize anything, I said, there's something you need to understand. Nicole exhaled, impatient. Megan, please. It's decided. No, it isn't. I pulled the mortgage statement from my pocket and unfolded it slowly. 3 years ago, you nearly lost this house. My father stiffened. That was private. The bank worked with us. No, I said. The bank didn't work with you. I bought the mortgage at auction. Silence. My mother shook her head. That's impossible. I've been paying it all along, mortgage, taxes, insurance. I slid the statement across the table. Every line bore my name. My father grabbed it, scanning quickly. His face went pale. Nicole snatched it from him. This must be a mistake. It's not. I own this house. Legally. Completely. You've been living here because I let you. My mother's voice trembled. Why didn't you tell us? Because I didn't want you to feel indebted. I just wanted you safe. I looked at Nicole. But you were right about one thing. Love is showing up. And I've been showing up for years. You just couldn't see it because there wasn't a check to cash or credit to claim. Nicole's husband stood. You can't just claim their home. It's my home that I've let them occupy while you plan to inherit it. My father's hand shook. Megan, I didn't know. You didn't want to know. You wanted a story where Nicole was loyal and I was the one who left. My mother reached toward me. We're family. Family doesn't erase someone from moving 2 states away. Family doesn't rewrite history to make themselves feel better. I retrieved the statement. The house stays with me. You can live here as long as you need, but let's be clear. Whose name is on the deed? I turned to Nicole. And you can stop volunteering to manage finances you never contributed to. I started to leave. My father called out. What do you want from us? I paused at the door. I wanted you to see me, but you wouldn't. So now, you'll just have to know what I've done. I walked into the cold November night. Didn't look back. Streets empty. Quiet in that hollow way only small towns have on holidays. I drove with the windows cracked, letting the crisp air fill my lungs. My phone lit up. Angela, how did it go? I sent a voice text. They know now. I thought of the house, the years of payments, the silence I'd kept to protect them. I hadn't bought it for leverage. I bought it for love. But love that goes unseen becomes something else. It becomes a wound. And I was done bleeding for people who never noticed. Tomorrow, I'd call my accountant, figure out the next steps. Maybe sell the house eventually. Give them time to find something else. Maybe keep it, rent it out, let them stay. The specifics didn't matter yet. What mattered was the truth was finally out. They'd have to face the consequences of favoritism, erasure, and casual cruelty. I pulled into the hotel parking lot. Tomorrow, I'd fly back to Chicago, back to the life I built without their support, the life that has always been sustaining them. I wasn't the daughter who left. I was the daughter who carried them from a distance. And I was done carrying in silence. The weight lifted from my shoulders. Sometimes, the ones who owe you the most are the ones who see you the least. If you've ever been invisible, if you've given without acknowledgement, remember, your silence isn't noble. It's just silent. And your truth deserves to be heard, even if they aren't ready to listen. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it.